So we have to do a project on semicolons and colons. And this is our introduction, and we thought, why not enlist the talents of an expert, our own Mr. Coe. Let's see, I think he's talking about it right now. So, Mr. Coe, we heard that you had a famous colon speech. Would you like to give it?
Well, I'm glad you didn't say I have. Never mind. Okay, yeah, I was just going to talk about the colon today. So let me erase this picture here, which has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about. Hope that doesn't look like a colon. I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about life. I think I can tie that into colons pretty well. You know, as you go down the road of life, there are many signposts. Right? And if we lived out in the country in the sticks where we'd never heard of a pencil or never seen no school books before, the signposts would be pretty simple. Sit, Colby. The signposts would be pretty simple. Right? There'd be a stick with an arrow on it saying, that-a-way, or no trespassing. But we live in the modern world where there's all sorts of sophisticated signs. And fortunately for us, in the modern era, one of the most common signs is the old 3-light stop sign. Makes me think about colons when I see that. Okay, as you go down the road of life, sometimes, if I have a red here, I don't have a red, imagine that's red. You see a red light and you're supposed to stop, right? And sometimes when you go around down the road of life, you see a yellow light and you're supposed to speed up. Now you may not think that's true, but when I was in Switzerland, there's a yellow light and then a red light, and then before it's green again, there's always a yellow light. And I have yet, in my 5 times to Switzerland, figure out whether you're supposed to start or stop or think about it, or maybe go, or wait for the other guy. But there's an extra yellow light in there, and I have no idea what that's all about. But that's another story. Okay, and then there's the green light. Okay? You got your green light, and that means you can just go right on down the road of life. If you see the yellow light, you better slow down. You better think about it. And if you see a red light, well, you got to stop and wait and wait. And sometimes it's just too unbearable. And after you're done getting gum out and changing the station and dialing your friend and checking your text message, eventually it'll turn green again. There's one more light, though, that's hidden in here. It's a secret light. And only some of you ever get to experience it. And that is your flashing yellow light. Beep, 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 beep. As it goes through time, it flashes on and off, right? Now, I think that the colon and the semicolon is a lot like these lights. Because as you're reading going down a sentence, sometimes you come to punctuation. Yep, you come to punctuation. And there's many different kinds of punctuation you can encounter. One of them is just a simple little at the end of a sentence. Right? And one of them might even be one of these things, a little like that. Makes a little sound like that when you see it. Okay? A few of you in your reading, because you read real books written by real men, will actually find a colon somewhere in your reading. And, of course, we all throw in these things indiscriminately wherever we feel like it because we have no clue how to use them. That's your semicolon. Right? Now, semi means half. But actually, it looks like it's a little more. I don't want to get into that right now. Okay, so a half a colon is a semicolon. Okay, so here's what we got. We got your come to the end of a line, you got to stop and wait. That's your red light. Yeah. A period is your red light. Now, if you're driving along and you're supposed to keep going, shoo, right on through, we would call that a green light. Well, that's really what a colon does. A colon, excuse me, that's a golem. A colon makes you continue on with what you were thinking to kind of complete the thought. These guys here, they don't want you to stop, but they don't want you to go either. Right? So that's kind of like a caution sign, right? It's kind of slow down, maybe before it turns green again, like in Switzerland. Speed up, depending on what kind of light system you're using. That thing there is kind of like a yellow light. It says, take caution, look both ways. You've been somewhere, but you might want to look where you're going while you know where you've come from. Okay? And last but not least, my favorite, right, which nobody really knows how to do, because when you see a flashing red light, right, what do you do? Uh-oh, there's something going on. All kinds of thoughts are going on in your head and you don't know what's going on. That's a flashing red light right there. That's your semicolon. Because what you're supposed to do at a flashing red light is come to a complete stop, but don't just sit there and change the radio station and check your email or whatever you do in your car. Steal a little kiss or something. What you got to do is you got to keep going. You slow down, you take a complete stop, but you're not done with the sentence. You just keep going on through. And that's your semicolon. Now when you use these and how you use them, I imagine it takes about 6 or 8 weeks. But if you keep coming back, we'll go through the whole thing. And that's all I really got to say about colons and semicolons.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes! More bang!
It helps to have taught freshman English for like 9 years.
Thank you, Mr. Cho. That was very intricate, and that was good.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
But you know, ultimately, that's not what we came here to talk about today. So let's get back to work.
We should make a Mr. Cone soundboard. That would be